Back to another stream. So today in this stream we'll be building this beautiful portfolio website which is simple for beginners and does look pretty goddamn amazing. So this is a portfolio website that you can make for your first project or just trying to step up your game a little bit if you're just stuck building to-do list. So here, this is a beautiful and simple portfolio website that we'll be building in today's stream. So without further ado, let's get started. So then how about you tell me hi in the stream, guys. So here, just like that. And yeah, let's go ahead and start the stream. So what I'm going to do here is come down here. So this is a already pre-made folder that I've already created. I'm simply gonna make HTML index.html, style.css, and also a script.js file like always. And now let's start to do it. So what I'm going to do here, quickly make a boilerplate and just call this portfolio. You can write your name here just like that, it makes sense. I have chosen a name that I basically I just told the ChatGPT to give me a random name, and I basically used that name, right? So here I can just give it title, and now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to use a link here to link our style.css file and our script.js file, just like that. And now I'm just going to do link. Actually, what I can do is I'll basically use CDN Font Awesome link. Now you can use your own script link that you get from Font Awesome. It's perfectly fine. Or you can also use this link if you want. By the way, if you want the source code for today's project, it will be linked down in the description box below. So yeah, just giving you a heads up. A lot of people just ask me where is the source code. It's usually down in the description box below. There we go. So the first thing that I'm going to make is the header. So I'm just going to make a header here. Let me read chat. Hi sir, good evening. Hello Ryan, welcome to the stream again. How are you, my brother? We're making a portfolio website today. I hope you like it. You want to see it? I can show you. So this is the portfolio website. You can try also building it. It's very easy, but it's very practical and looks pretty nice. It also has the hamburger menu if you guys like that. It looks pretty cool. And yeah, that's pretty much it. So here what I'm going to do is make a header tag, and inside header tag I'm going to make a nav bar, and this will be our logo. So I'm going to make a div called logo. So in this our portfolio, right, the random name I've selected is basically Isabella Harper, right? So I'm just going to do IH for short form. You can basically make your own or just put your name here. It doesn't really matter. Here what I'm going to do is do nav links. So these are our nav links, right? I'm going to make it inside li tag, and it will basically lead to different sections. So first one will lead to home, and I'm just going to put home here. Copy paste this a bunch of times, just like that. The second one is about. The third one is services, and the fourth one is portfolio. Will basically show our projects. Again, you can just link them to your GitHub profile on this. I'm just gonna make it a static page, and yeah, and here I'm just gonna put a contact here. Now to start put here, I'm just gonna make about services and do portfolio. Also gonna do contact here just like that, and boom, just like that, it is done. The one thing I forgot to do was, I kind of got confused that you're supposed to make this a UL tag because it's a list and you have to wrap the list inside the UL tag, And yeah, my bad. Now next thing what I'm going to do is, this is for the desktop menu, right? I have to make this for responsive, so I also have to make a hamburger menu for mobile, so small screens. By the way, this portfolio will be basically responsive for any given device. So we're talking about the smallest and smallest of screens to biggest and biggest of screens, right? Because when you're presenting a portfolio, if it's not responsive, it kind of does not actually appeal the person you're trying to show off it to, right? So here what I'm going to do is make a mobile menu div. So in this div, it will basically give a menu. So here, this is basically icon that will basically pop up once you hit a certain amount of screen size, right? I'm just gonna put it a bar, so that will give me a hamburger menu. And under here, I'm just gonna make the actual mobile drop down. So I'm just gonna do drop down. And here, I'm just gonna use href. I'm basically gonna do the same thing, except there will not be any li tags. So I'm just gonna cut everything here, just like that. And yeah, just like that. And ls, and there we go. That is our mobile menu. Now I don't need that. There we go. So that is all for our header. So let's go ahead and style this portfolio, this header, right? So as always, the first thing you have to do is select the universal selector and do margin 0, do margin 0, padding 0, and box sizing set to border box, just like that. So I'm a bit struggling with semantic elements, just like header, container. When I'm still styling in CSS, I can't put proper styling class. What do you mean proper styling class? Is this like the class name? You have to learn a lot of. For now, if you're just starting out, you can just you can just use div, right, or anything that you want, because you have to understand one thing. Class name under divs. Yeah, it's fine. I can understand that. But thing is, when you're starting out, right? When you're starting out, you don't have to worry about semantics. First of all, you have to actually understand the DOM, the actual CSS box model. You have to actually grasp that first completely before you start learning semantics. Now, learning semantics is really, really important. I'm not saying learning semantics is not important. It is one of the most important concepts to learn in web development. However, this is not something you need to focus when you're starting out. Let me be really, really clear. When I was starting out, I would just wrap everything in div. I'm not even joking. I now know there is header, main container, footer, aside, and many more sections and many more semantic tags. There's figure tag for wrapping image, right? But the reason in most of the streams I just use div is because it's more easier and more beginner friendly. First, you only need to understand that. And another thing about class names is just give class names that you want to give, right? Because for example, if I wanted to give if I wanted to style this anchor tag, I can basically do navlinks and a. I can do navlinks and a, right? I'm basically selecting the anchor tag inside the navlinks div. So if I want to do color red, it'll basically change it to that. You don't need to give class to every single one of the actual HTML element. That I bit struggling div. What's footer? Footer is basically the footer. So you see on every web page it says copyrights reserved to this company, or copyright reserves to this person. Yeah, that section is basically called the footer. Okay. Yeah, that's right, sir. That's what I mean. Class name under divs. You don't have to give class name to every single HTML element, bro. Don't worry. So can you repeat that statement? The thing is, you can basically give class to the outermost div, right? You see this? I have given the class to UL tag here. Now if I wanted to style this anchor tag, which is all of this, right? Which needs to be styled because it looks horrible by default. I don't have to like give class to like this saying class and some kind of links, I guess. I don't have to do that. And doing that will basically just, it will just not make sense. It will just make the whole code look terrible. Now what I can do is just select the outermost div here, which is this class right here, right? And I can use that class to actually select its child component, which is this anchor tag. So here what I can do is select A. So that will select all of these anchor tags, which is inside the navlinks div, navlinks container. Right now I can just style it however I want. Like if I want to do color red, it will change that to red. You see this? There we go. You don't have to give just give the class names to like the most important element, because it's kind of not necessary, to be honest, because once you move to Tailwind you don't have to do this stuff anyways, because in Tailwind you don't have to assign like IDs or class names. Okay, you get it? In Tailwind you're just basically writing CSS directly from here. So if I want to make this a flexbox, I can just type flex and it will just change it to flexbox. If I want to flex, like let's say do flex1, I can just do flex1 and just do like that. Because once you move to Tailwind, you'll never come back to CSS anyways, so it's kind of useless in my opinion. I mean, that's how I see it, but like CSS is still important, don't get me wrong, but yeah. Okay, moving on. Lumine, welcome to the stream, man. Welcome to the stream. How are you? Font family, I'm just gonna do like this one right here. It like looks the most decent in my opinion. And here, what I'm gonna do is, oops, did I just? Give me a second here. Font family, just do that, just like that. And now what I'm going to do is do line height, set that to 1.6. Also do color. I used to really struggle making navbars now, so I made like 10 and 15 different. Yeah, that makes sense. Like more like navbar at first, it will just be like the most difficult thing that you make. I mean, the first navbar, it took me like 4 hours to make the navbar. No, actually, it's kind of, yeah, it's kind of easy. That makes sense. So Brian, I hope you got that. To be honest, once you learn like Tailwind, I swear, like, mark my words, you'll never come back to CSS. Or like just simple like Bootstrap or something like that. It's been a long time since I've seen your video. Hello, welcome to the stream, Ultrasound Audio. It's a weird name, but like, okay. Welcome to the stream, man. We're basically making a portfolio website today, if you're wondering. So now we're actually starting for the header div, right? By the way, like the font, guys. I really like this font. What do you guys think? I really like this font. It's clean, no? So next is position fixed. So I want the navbar to be fixed, right? It makes sense. And do top 0. I want it to be fixed at, top of the web page, and I'm just gonna increase the width to 100% and do background, set that to kind of a whitish color. So I'm just gonna use the whitish RGB code, which is 255 255 255, and the 0.9 to give it kind of a grayish tone. Can rate my portfolio right now? I don't think it can. Backdrop filter. Yeah, it's been a while, Gob. How you doing? I was kind of busy past few days. I'm being good. How do you know my nickname, by the way? That's weird. I mean, it's probably like the most generic thing that you can call me. That's kind of funny. I like it though. And yeah, how is your JavaScript doing? I heard you were like studying JavaScript. So here, yeah. So your padding will be 1 rem. I'm also going to change the box shadow to 0, 2 pixels, 20 pixels, RGBA. Just set to 0, 1 here. I'm just going to format the document here and just do transition. And transition the background to 0.3 seconds at ease. And next thing I'm just going to do is change the box shadow here. Box shadow and do 0.3 seconds at ease again. That is for the outermost container, right? Now for the actual navbar, for the navbar, what I'm going to do is just do display flex and do justify content space between. Also do align items, set that to center here. Also do max width, set to 1200 pixels. I'm doing this so I can give a margin auto. Oops, misspelled that. And also give a padding, set that to 0 and 2 rem. There we go. Just like that. Now to style the actual logo first. So the logo, it'll be a pretty simple style. The first thing I need to do is to change the font to 1.8 rem, change that to bold, and also do a color. So color, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put it at 2C 3E, 3E and 50, just like that. You can also make CSS variables. So one thing you have to like understand is if you're using a element or color or whatever, if you're using it very frequently, you can make CSS variables to not only give some meaning for whatever value you're putting it into, and also just like save your hassle to just remembering this hex color code. It will just not make sense, right? For now, I'm just gonna change that to that because it does give you a autocomplete with CSS snippets. So it's kind of convenient, but yeah. You can do nav links, do display flex, and do list style. I do none here. Do gap about 2 rem. Should look pretty nice. Now next thing that I need to do is to style the anchor tag. So I'm just gonna do a here and do text decoration, set to none. That will remove the underline, and also do set that to kind of a grayish black color, and also do font weight set to a little bit darker, and do transition. Now since I want to change that color, I'm just going to do color 0.3 seconds at ease, just like that. Next I'm just going to set the position to relative, and there we go. Now I want to make a hover effect, so I'm just going to do hover, change the color to a bluish color, so I'm just going to do 349 and do 8 dB, just like that. I'll change the color just like that, right? Now I want to make a line effect. I'm on the topic of multi-dimensional arrays right now. So you have started data structures. That's nice. Multi-dimensional arrays are very important for making tic-tac-toe game. You can try making that as your first project. Pretty cool now, actually. Do nav links. Now I'm gonna make a After Effect, After Effect, and here I'm just gonna set the content to 0. That will basically give me a element here. I'm just gonna do position it absolute. So since I want it to be a line, I can do -5 pixels, and also do left set to 0, width set to 0. Also give a height of 2 pixels, and do background set to same bluish color, and do transition. Now I want to transition to width, right? So just do ease here. Now I need to set it so when you hover over it, I want the After Effect to get triggered, so I can just use that and do just like that. Now if I hover over it, this cool effect gets triggered. It looks pretty nice. I haven't practiced coding in a week since I was busy. Me too. I mean, not like that, but like my After my personal like private coding sessions. I haven't like instead of HTML, CSS, and JavaScript, I haven't done anything else. And my like university or just college starts in like next month, and I have some goals to. I have some goals to do before like goals to like complete. Hopefully before my third semester starts. So yeah. Pretty nice. Do display none. So I'm just gonna do display none here. The reason I'm doing this right now is because by default it will be hidden. It makes sense, right? So cursor, I'm just gonna do pointer and your font size set to 1.5 rem, a little bigger, and the color set that to that, right? Now I'm gonna trigger that. Now for the mobile dropdown, what I'm gonna do here is do mobile dropdown and do position it absolute and do top 100%. And just basically do left 0, right 0, background set to RGBA, same thing like there. Give it a little bit darker effect, just like that. And here I just can give a backdrop filter, giving a blur effect. Also do, oops. You can do box shadow, give it a 0, 5 pixels, 25 pixels, and RGBA set to that again. Display set to none because by default it will be set to none, but I'm going to comment it for now. And here I'm just going to do flex directions set to column, right? And I can actually, what I'm going to do here, instead of none, I can just do flex. That'll basically give me the actual look, and set the padding to 1 rem and 0, just like that. Now to style the actual anchor tags of that, I can just do A here and do padding 1 rem and 2 rem. And set the color to that. I'm gonna set the text decoration, text decoration set to none, and do font weight set to 500. Also do border left set to 4 pixels solid transparent, and do transition all 0.3 seconds at ease. So that'll give me I'm basically setting a border on the left corner here, and if we hover over that, so I'm just gonna do hover here and just giving a background, where is it? Background RGBA set to kind of a darkish color. So I'm just gonna do 52, 152, 219, and do 0.1, and do border left, set that to our signature yellow colors. I'm just gonna do that, just like that, and do color, also set that to that same color. Now we hover over it, as you can see, it does look pretty nice, right? That is our effect. Now one thing I need to do is I need to set a show effect for this, because right now it is active, like the mobile dropdown menu is active. So right now it should be flex, right? And I'm just going to change that back to none. So when you basically put the mobile menu here, where you put active here, that'll basically show. So that is what we need to control from JavaScript that we'll be doing later. Okay, I haven't watched this. I am learning from a book called JavaScript Beginner to Advanced. It's pretty good. Every topic has practice exercises and problems to go along with it. Oh, that's pretty nice. Good luck, man. Good luck, bro. By the way, I accepted your friend request on Discord, but you never replied. I said hi, but you never replied. But okay. Moon Vibe Music. Hello, welcome to the stream, man. Welcome. So that is all for our header element, guys. So next thing that we have to make is the hero section. So here what I can do is give a section that will basically have a class called hero and an ID called home to link it with that, just like that. Inside this, I'm just gonna make a hero content div, just like that. Inside this, I'm just gonna make an h1 saying, again, this is a name that I've just basically ChatGPT'd, right? I just told ChatGPT to give me random person's name and basically give me this, and boom. Now here I will just paste another ChatGPT text here, and also do href and do contact here, and just do class, set that to CTA button, just like that. Alicia, welcome back to stream. How are you? Long time no see. Where are you from? I'm from Nepal, man. You know the recent protesting country? Yeah, that's where I'm from. Oh really? I'm so sorry. No, it's fine. It's fine. I mean, I was just pulling your leg. We're in Nepal. I mean, I don't think I can discover that, but yeah, somewhere in Nepal. I can definitely tell you that. Somewhere in Nepal. So I'm just gonna make, for the styling, right? For the styling here, I'm just gonna make the hero section. I'm gonna comment that out. And for this, we have already made the sections, so I can also put a comment here saying hero section, put a comment here. By the way, always comment your code, guys. Just put comment if you can, because it's just good, okay? Nepal is the neighboring country of India. That's true. Yes, this in fact is. And also China. I'm also from Nepal. Oh, really? Damn. Okay. What language do you speak in Nepal? It's usually just Nepali, which is Nepalese or whatever you can call it. It's basically our native language. But our mother tongue is in fact different. But yeah. So over here, what I'm going to do is just do hide 100 VH here. So I'm basically just stretching it out. I also set the background to just a URL here. I have just picked this URL. You also probably saw this in the thumbnail here. This is the image we're basically going to use. I'm also going to do center/cover, just like that. And here I'm just going to do display flex. So I'm just flexing the container here. Do align item center and justify content set to center. That'll basically make the whole thing come to exactly at the center here. The next thing I need to do is set the color to white, just like that, and also do position set to relative. Right? Makes sense. Now here, I'm just gonna do a before hero, giving a kind of a, how do I say it, filter effect. Now for that, I can just put a content that'll basically give me another container here. Just put this position to absolute, do top 0, left 0, right 0, and bottom 0. That'll basically make it so it just wraps around the whole container. And just do background, set the background to that, to this right here. If I do that, that'll give me that, just like that. Now since we can see the actual image and it's stacked behind it, what I can do here is basically now put hero content. Right now the hero content is behind this container, or you can say filter, right? Now to put this above that container, what I can do is actually give a position of relative, and just that'll basically put it to that. I can also give it a higher Z index to make sure that's always on the top, and do max width set to 800 pixels, and it's actually on the top, as you can see. And I can do padding set to 0 and 2 rem, just to give padding. And here I'm just going to do animation, animation, give it a fade in up effect for 1 second, Now this is the animation that we'll make in a bit. We'll make keyframes for it, so it should be pretty fun. What is happening in the chat? If you're from Nepal, then why are you asking where is Nepal? True. Bro, I'm actually cracking up the way Alicia replies. No, it's fine. I like Alicia's reply. It's very realistic, or just logical, you know? So for H1, styling the individual element here, I'm just gonna set the font rem bigger. Also do margin bottom set to 1 rem. Also do font size set to 700, just like that. Now next thing that I need to do is style the paragraph tag. Now to do that, I'm just gonna do font size set to 1.2 rem, margin bottom set to 2 rem. Also do opacity set to 0.9, just like that. And that's pretty much it for that. Now for the actual button, right? I'm just gonna do CTA button here, which is this button right here. You see this get in touch button? I'm just gonna do display it as inline block. And here I'm just gonna do padding, set that to 15 pixels and 30 pixels. Also gonna do background. Background, set that to around set that around that. Now one thing I forgot to do is I kind of forgot to do text align center. I just realized that. So that everything is in the middle. I'm just gonna do. I was replying to Moon Vibe Music. So I can just do that and just do background, set that to that. Also do color white, text decoration set to none. Also do font weight a little bit darker. Also do border radius 50 pixels. And do transition all 0.3 seconds at ease, and box shadow set to 0, 5 pixels, 15 pixels, and give it the same kind of lighter. So I'm just gonna do that, and yeah, give it a box shadow right there. Now I'm just gonna give a darker box shadow. What is happening? Happy the same, bro? Thank you. Happy the same to you, bro. I think it's like second day. Is it third? I don't remember, to be honest. So for the hover effect, what I'm going to do is just do transform. I'm just going to do translate to that. I hope your family. How do you wish someone the same? I don't know. May your family be rejoiced, or is that the correct word? I don't know. What is the saying? It's basically Christmas of Nepalese people. It's like the greatest or biggest festival that Nepalese collectively, because most of Nepalese population is Hindu. So it's one of the greatest festivals. So yeah. So here I'm just gonna give it a darker effect. So I'm just gonna, when you hover over it, it does look pretty damn nice. And yeah, that's pretty much it for that. Now one thing that I need to make is the keyframes, right? Now for the keyframes, we'll probably do that at the end, so you don't have. So right now we'll just leave it for now, because we do have made an animation here. We haven't made the keyframes for it. We'll make keyframes for that in a bit. So yeah. Now for the about sections, right? What I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna give a. For about section, what I'm going to do, just call it about section. That That is Navratri in India. No, what? What do you mean Navratri? Wait, you're Indian? I mean, I do know Navratri is like one of the most. It's like is Diwali and Navratri is the same? I'm not sure. I'll just get back to coding. What is Navratri? It is a Indian festival. So here I'm just basically gonna make two of these. So this is about section here, right? Making just that. And for the container, inside the container I'm gonna make an h2 with a section title and just give it about me. So this will basically be about me section. Search in Google. Now about content, what I'm going to do here is do about content. I'm just going to do about image. So this will be the image, right? Image of yourself, technically. But here I've just selected, actually this image also was given to me by ChatGPT. I'm just going to put the name here, just like that. Boom, and there we go. Oh, beautiful girl. Oops. So this is the image that I basically picked out. Next thing I need to do is do about text, right? Now about text will be the description about yourself. Here I'm just gonna type passionate. What's the spelling of passionate again? Passionate developer with 5+ or whatever your experience might be. 2 years of experiences. Just like that. You can put whatever you want. That's our section. I'm struggling in divs under their the sections. Sections are basically the section that you divide, right? So basically this is hero section. Can you show that in CSS? Like how? What do you wanna see in CSS? I can show you. First, let me finish this. So this is a paragraph. So this is a paragraph that again I ChatGPT'd. You can type your paragraph if you want. It's completely to yourself. Since I'm just making a dummy portfolio, I'm just gonna do that. Brian, can you tell me what did you want to see? I can show you 100%, but I kind of got confused what you were trying to tell me. I had Indian food with my girlfriend for the first time. It was good, not gonna lie, but way too spicy. I don't know how they handle that much spice. To be fair, yeah, true. I mean, the thing is, if I don't have, like, I'm basically a born spicy maniac. So if any of my like food that I consume is not spicy, that's not food. It has to be to the spot, like to the point spicy where I'm sweating, but like it's not too spicy that I cannot finish the thing, right? So for these skills, right? For real, yeah. Like once I had like, I think what was it? Like Bulldog Ramyun or whatever you call it. I basically bought it thinking it would be spicy, but it was like okay spicy. Like it was not to the point where like you know how like people react in YouTube videos saying, "Oh my god, it's so spicy." I was like, yeah, it is spicy, but like you don't have to react it that much because it's not that spicy. So like I don't know how like what is my spice tolerance, to be honest. So here I'm just gonna make a span saying skill tag, just like that, and do JavaScript. I too like spicy food. Yeah, I mean, spice is very good. To be fair, like if you eat too much spicy, it's not good for you. That's a different thing though. But like, it's like for me, it's to the point where like I cannot live without spicy food. So here what I'm going to do is just, give my, just give it random things, and I just say if I know React or whatever your skills are. Node.js, if you know Node.js, you can put that. You can put Python if you know Python. You can do MongoDB. If you know MongoDB, you can also put, if you're a designer and you are a front-end developer and you know design, you can also put UX design, just like that. Pretty damn good. And yeah, that's pretty much it for this section. How you put that CSS? Can you explain it slowly? I mean, please just give me a chance to be able to get proper select as selectors are. Like, what is the like the CSS about, like all of these CSS? Do you want me to explain about content? About this? Where is it? Where is it? Okay. This? Wait, no. Wait, what? Where am I? What do you mean about content? Like all these CSS names? Like, how do I go ahead and like put the names? Is that what you wanna want me to? Yes, in that section. So we have a section, right? So what basically what I'm doing is I'm basically normally we have three different sections. One is our header section, so it's usually just navbar, right? Or other things if you have like put it into header, right? And then we have another thing called main tag. Usually you'll see main tag in traditional semantic JavaScript HTML, but I haven't used it because it kind of I don't have the need to. So I'm basically separating individual sections again from sections, right? And since so basically how am I selecting is, you see these kind of sections when you log into, or you're just into a website and you see kind of this kind of page or this kind of section. This is what we call a hero section, right? This is what we call a hero section, right? Where there's pictures and some text or buttons. This is what we call the hero section. So I'm basically saying it hero section, right? Now next is about me section. So this is about me or about you or whatever, right? It's about you is basically a section that describes what you are. So for that, I'm just saying class. We are separating this by another section, and basically giving a class that I'm saying about, because it's about me section, right? Now since I also have to put this, or I have to get this from here, since I've linked the anchor tags here, so when you click over the about, it will basically teleport me to about sections. So that's why I have given an ID of about. That's it. That's the entire point of that. Now next thing I've done is inside the section container, I basically given another container. So this is the actual container that wraps everything for the thing, everything, right? That's the main container. Next thing is h2. Since I have put the label to the section, I basically put a h2, which basically says section title, which makes sense. This is the title to our section, and just gave the contents thing about me. Now for the about content, right? Now I basically separated this with a ID, the title and the content. So this is all of the content, that being the picture, this image tag, or this about text. Everything is inside the about content. Get it? And this h3, everything. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Now the reason I have wrapped this inside another div is because I have to split it, being the image being on left and the text being on right. So that's why I have basically separated. It's basically the container concept, the CSS box model. Now once you get it, it will be really easy to understand that. And that's pretty much it. Did that clear your doubt, Brian? If it doesn't, let me know. I can do it multiple times. Don't worry. Set the padding to around 80 pixels and 0, just like that. Now here I basically set a padding above here, and here what I'm going to do is now style the container. So I'm just going to set the max width of container being around 1200 pixels. Also do margin 0 and auto. Do padding 0 and 2 rem. And just like that. So as I said, when I'm basically just wrapping everything in the content div, right? I get it, but in CSS I want to focus when you style it so that I can capture it and take it in my notes. I mean, you can. I've dropped the source code in the description, Brian. So you don't have to take notes. Like, you have the code with you. Just go to description. You can copy the code and just put comments here. Like, you know, just put comments here saying this is important or something like that. And just comment it just like that, and you can just study it later. Or you can put whatever comments you want, you know. Yeah, that's I mean, thank you. It's okay. You're welcome. I'm glad that I was useful. So next thing what I'm gonna do is do section title and just do text align, just set that to center. And here what I'm going to do is basically do font size, set that to 2.5 rem, and basically do margin bottom set to around 3 rem, right? And also do colors, set that to our signature blackish gray, and just set the position to relative, just like that. So that is for the title. Next thing I need to do is give a After Effect. So After Effect, I'm again gonna draw a line because it's very useful to draw a line. Honestly, you can use the content method and just give a width of 80 pixels and probably a height of line about 4 pixels, not too much. Can I ask you something, Gabi sir? Why does everybody call me sir? Look, I don't get it. Don't call me sir, guys. I'm not like... Oh my god, it's very awkward. Just call me Gabi. Elisha, you can definitely 100% ask me anything you want. Don't worry. What is your question? Do position set to absolute and do bottom to around 10, no, negative 10 pixels. You see this line right here, we're basically trying to make that come to center. And to do that, I'm just going to do left 50%, and now that we have done that, I'm basically going to transform and translate it basically just 50%, oops, 50% on the middle, and yeah, not Y actually, oops, X, and there we go. Now next thing that I need to make is the about section, so I'm just going to do about and background, set the background to F8, F9, and FA, just like that, and yeah. Now to style the actual thing, I'm just going to do about content, do display grid, and also do grid, template columns, 1 fraction and 1 fraction. That'll basically just make them come to side, and also do gap of 4M, making gap, and also do align item, set that to center, just like that. Now to style the image, what I'm going to do here, first I have to style the container, so I'm just going to do position set to relative, and do border radius set that to 20 pixels, also do overflow set to hidden if I have anything right here, and also do box shadows, set that to 0, 20 pixels, 40 pixels, and do this right there, just like that. Do seniors rag juniors in your university? No, I've never seen that. I mean, I don't know. Like, it might be going on that it's like I just don't have any idea about, but like from what I can, like from my experience, I've never seen any junior or like senior rag junior. Like, to be fair, it's kind of is opposite in my opinion. Like sometimes I just like come across some seniors who are like questioning their life decisions because they didn't study for like all of their college years, and like the first years are just way better than them, and like when talking about programming skills, like they're just they just want to quit programming. So yeah. But yeah, there's no ragging in my university. Do it 100%, and also do height set to 100%. Oops, not 100%. Sure, you can ask me, Lumin, don't worry. The object vector, just do cover, just like that, and yeah, looks pretty nice, doesn't it? Now do about text here, do about text h3, do font size, set that to 2 rem, margin bottom, set that to 1 rem, also do color set, oops, set that to that. Now it does look kind of terrible, that's because I haven't made it that way, and yeah. Just like that. What is this? Let login equals false, let output holder. It's kind of very difficult reading the code. And let user equals to login if what do you think will be the outcome? Wait, what? Let login equals to false, so we have login that is false, right? And you let output holder equals to let user okay equals login if login is equals to logout. And what? I cannot read the code. Give me a second. I didn't see colon for a second there. Is that output holder equals to empty string? Probably false. Am I wrong? I cannot tell because like the code is really okay, wait, okay. Yes. Wait, is it blank string or empty string? It's still nothing though, so. And so output holder equals to, so that's false. So login is false. So that is, what's the question mark for? That's a ternary operator. So if let user, that's if user okay equals to login. So user okay is false now. So if that is false, then output holder equals to logout. So output holder is log out, right? So, or else output holder, what? Output holder equals to just empty string. So here, if the login is false, user okay, so like, is it false? I cannot tell because it's very confusing because of this is horribly formatted. So user okay is login, so if user login is false, that means it's false. Yeah, that's it. It's false. Am I correct? The question mark is basically ternary operator. Operator is basically if else in a single line. I will send it to you in Discord. It will be easier. How about let's do it after stream. I'm actually like really. You can basically. I've given my answer. It's false. It has to be like from my perspective, it's false. I think from what I can see here. It will just print false in the console. Am I right? Just do font size, set that to 1.1 rem, and do line height. Line height, set that to 1.8. It prints empty string. User okay. How though? Because you're printing user okay. I don't see a statement where we have like matched the empty string. What? Or is it like just me not seeing anything? Oh, okay, that makes sense. Oh, okay. Okay. Like I see why it's empty string. Okay, that makes sense. Because the login, the user okay is login if the output holder is equals to logout. Since it's not, so user okay will be an empty string. So when you print user okay, it will be empty string. Okay, that makes sense. For some reason, I didn't see the output holder thing because it was so confusing for a second. Okay, that makes sense. My bad. Do display flex and do flex wrap set to wrap, and just do gap set to 1 rem, and also do margin top set to 2 rem. There we go. And yeah, just do skill tag and just do background, set that to that again. Also do color, set that to white. Do padding 8 pixels and just 16 pixels. Border radius set to 25 pixels, and do font size set that to 1.9. I'm sorry, Lumine. I probably disappointed you, but like I legit did not see that output holder because it was stuck, like it was closed to console.log. I was very confused for a second there. Yep, this is how it will be. Does look pretty nice, I think. Now, one thing that I could do is probably give it a higher height, saying like 600, like that, and yeah, it does look pretty nice. Okay, guys, so let's do that. Now, next thing what I'm gonna do here is basically after this section. I hope you got the thing. were you just testing me or something? Because I'm pretty sure you were testing me, right? The services section. But yeah, I got the logic, okay? I got the logic. I'm not washed. By the way, I tried lead code and damn, it was hard. Yeah, lead code is really hard. I'm trying to do lead code. I'm still in beginner though. But first, you need to understand data structures for that, like at a really deep level. Understand stack, queues, arrays, like everything, like, you know, all of the data structures. I'm thinking of doing lead code this holiday, so we'll see. We can also make like a lead code solving session. I don't know if I could, like, if I can like be better at that, or it can just be like be better with me kind of session, you know, just code with me, like solve the problems with me. I don't know. If you guys want to see that, let me know. We could do that too. Just do that and do services grid and oops. Just do that and do service card. Do service icon. And inside this, I'm just gonna put a icon tag that will basically see FES, FE, and code. This will basically be a coding icon, just like that. Now this is for individual card, right? What I can do here is basically just do web development, and here do that. So this is for one service card. So I have like other service card with me right here. I'm just gonna copy paste it because it's basically the same thing. The only thing different here is basically I've changed the content. So this is basically has a different icon, right? Different icon and different content, and that's it. So I have 3 of them. That is for this section, right? So let's go ahead and style this section. Just gonna do that. Can do that and do services section here. I'm basically just gonna do services grid here and do display set to grid template column, set that to repeat, autofit, min max. I can do min max set to 300 pixels per fraction, just like that. There we go. Set the gap to 2 rem and also do margin top set to 3 rem, just like that. Now next thing what I'm going to do is just do service card. I can just do background set to white since it's that. And yeah, one thing I can do is also give a padding. So I'm just going to do padding, set that to 2 rem, border radius set to 15 pixels, just like that. I'm also going to give a box shadow of 0, 10 pixels, 30 pixels. Just going to do RGBA, set that to that, just like that. There we go. The next thing is I'm just going to do text line, set that to center as well. And finally, I'm just going to do border 1 pixel solid E9 ECEF, which is a grayish color. And yeah. So I'm going to make a hover effect for this. I'm just going to do hover, do transform, translate the negative 10 pixels. I also change the box shadow to a little bigger, saying that, change this by 10 pixels each, and just do that. So if I just do there, I will just change that. Now I forgot to add transition here, so I'm just going to do transition all 0.3 seconds at ease. Now it should be pretty smooth, just like that. What would you rather use in JS, if else or switch? It depends. If you have a sequential if else order, like a lot of if else, right? Like if this, if else if this, else if this, else if this, then in that case using switch is a better option because it's faster, like faster to compute. If you have like a single statement saying like if something and this, like this, just use if. Like they're literally not like you can use ternary operator like saying if something, like you can just do like something, if it's something then do this, like else do that. You can also do that. It depends on which you want to use. The thing is, when you move to React, you'll just basically at most of the time you'll just basically be using ternary operators and not that much of if else. So yeah, just use what you're comfortable with. Like in React, like all of the if else is usually just like ternary operators. So just do service icon, do font size, do 3 rem. Also do color, set that to that. Also do margin bottom. Oops. Margin bottom set to 1 rem. So yeah, that look pretty nice. And for H3, what I'm going to do is just do service card. Oops. Just do font size, set that to 1.5 rem. Also do margin bottom, set to 1 rem, and just do color, set that to that. Like, if you know ternary operator is very useful. So yeah. I kind of was blown away at first when I realized you could just write if else in a single sentence. It's kind of crazy. I'll be honest with you. Now next is the portfolio section. Now this section will be pretty much really simple. It will just basically display all of your quote unquote projects. Just like that, and yeah, that's pretty much it. So next what I'm going to do here is just type section. Basically says portfolio. And also give an ID of portfolio, just like that. Inside this, I'm going to make the same old container. I'm also going to give a section. I'm going to give a section title, and just do my portfolio. Now it'll already be pre-styled because it has the same title as this right here, like this right here, right? Now next thing I can do is make my portfolio grid. So I'm just going to do portfolio grid, and I can also do portfolio item. I'm just going to put an image here. So this will be the first item that we make here. I'm just going to do that. Put the alt image to something like e-commerce platform. We can put whatever you want, all of your projects that you have made, right? And here I'm just going to do portfolio overlay. So if you saw in the intro, we basically made a portfolio overlay. Hey, is it early for me to start learning API? It's not. I mean, if you have like covered JavaScript until functions, and you have read like asynchronous functions, then you can start learning APIs. Just make like a weather app. Like weather app is a very good starting point to learn API. Just go to Open Weather Map API. and log in, get your API key, and just, you know, make a weather app. So what I'm going to do here is do portfolio content, and do h3 and do e-commerce platform, and this is just the random thing. Do platform here, and also can do a paragraph tag saying modern online shopping experience, just like that, and boom. There's one item here. So I have a couple of items that I basically just created. I'm just gonna copy paste that. Again, this basically is basically the same, with the exception of having different image and different text, and that's it, right? All of the other classes and the code structure is basically, the container structure is basically the same. Again, if you want the code, it will be down in the description box below, so you know, you can check it out. And yeah, if you want to first learn APIs, you have to learn what is like the promise, right? You have to learn the concept of promise. So go ahead and first do that, and like first learn what are asynchronous function, why is JavaScript like single-threaded, right? And how does it like accomplish asynchronous, like, you know, async, with being a single-threaded programming languages, like language. What am I saying? So, and just learn about promise and why does it get accept, like fulfill and like reject, I think it's called. And then you can go ahead and learn then, like fetch, and then you can learn about callback hell, and then after that you can just learn asynchronous function. There are a lot of concepts, but yeah. So here I'm just going to do portfolio section here. I'm just going to do portfolio here and just basically do background set to that, just like that. And here I'm just going to do portfolio grid and do display, set that to grid. Grid template columns set to repeat. Auto fit. Min max set to 350 pixels. And per fractions. Do gap, 2 rem, and also do margin tops and do 3 rem. And yeah, just like that, it is done. Now if I just do this, it does look all over the place, but yeah. Now to that we can have to style the image here. So just do portfolio item, first make the thing here. I'm just gonna do position it to relative to position the actual thing. And here what I'm gonna do here is basically just do border radius, set that to 15 pixels. Overflow set to hidden. That'll basically solve all of that. And do box shadows, set that to 0, 10 pixels, 10 pixels, and 30 pixels. RGBA, set that to that. To transition, all 0.3 seconds at ease. And there we go. Now for the portfolio hover, what I'm going to do is set the hover to transform to scale by 1.05, the standard scaling system, just like that. Now one thing I can do here is basically set that to ING. Today was my chemistry practical and guy broke the apparatus, then the teacher started yelling at him and he just suddenly, what? Alicia, what are you talking? What? Huh? Wait, was he okay? What? Is that guy an idiot? Oh well. Just do object, set that to cover. Just like that. Wow. Kind of crazy. And now for the overlay, right? I'm just gonna do port